So, with me on the first episode of the dating game, I have Jules and I have B with me. Both replied to a post that I put out on Instagram about sharing their journey on dating in midlife. So, I'm very pleased to welcome you both. Ladies, thank you so much for agreeing to come on and letting us look into a window that a lot of people don't get to see. Would you like to introduce yourself? Jules, would you like to go first?
Hi everyone, I'm Jules. I've been married twice before, so I'm well aware of all the dating sites. I work full time, but also I'm a wedding celebrant, so I'm actually surrounded with love. I'm brilliant at everyone else's love life, but mine is crap. So there you go.
And I'm B, and I'm in the northeast of England. I have been married twice. I've had a starter husband, and then I thought I'd found the one. Turned out that I hadn't, and then there was probably what I call as three: the starter husband, the one that should have been the husband, and then the one who was the love of my life. And that was it. That was the three big, and I was quite happy that at least I'd fell in love and I'd felt what love was like. And then I got to here and went, yeah, maybe I'm not quite done. Wow, what a ride this is.
So where are you both at the moment in terms of the apps you're using, or are you meeting people organically? Is it a combination of both?
For me, I am on a dating site, but it's just hit and miss. I'm on it and then I hide myself. I'm on it, then I hide myself. So I haven't been on any dates for a little while now. Nobody seems to go out midweekend. This is a Thursday, and Thursday I thought was supposed to be date night now rather than Friday. So I've been told. But the places are empty, absolutely empty. Or if there are guys there, they just don't, no one interacts. That's what I found lately.
What app is it you're actually using? What's the name of the app?
I'm using Bumble at the
You're on
moment.
Bumble. Okay. So
Yeah.
Bumble is it's where you've got control of it, haven't you?
Well, I don't pay. So the only problem is I've got a lot of likes, but I can't see them unless I pay. So unless I like them, so if there's someone I like, then if they've liked me, then we can start chatting. But apart from that, then I can't. So, but I mean, it's literally because of my age. I've got a problem on the dating sites because of my age. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But
No, I think that. Sorry, Jules. I think that's a good point actually, because I do think people are sort of fenced in by the ages on the websites as well. What's the biggest problem you find with dating people like your age, as it were, finding people your age?
Well, I don't mind saying that I'm 62 years old. So for me, putting an age bracket in that is, say, my age plus perhaps couple of years older, and then going below. For me, searching for guys is okay because I'm in control of the age barometer, so to speak. But for guys that are looking for someone, perhaps if they were, looking for me, unless they meet me in person, if I'm the sort of person they would want to meet and be with, they're probably only looking up to a certain age bracket. So the ones that I get because of my age, it's like dating my dad. I mean, literally is the pictures. They're all old guys. And it's like my dad. And I don't want to date, I don't want to date anyone looking like my dad.
I don't think that's legal anyway, Jules, to be honest.
No, it's just really, really hard, and it's soul destroying because you get excited, you pick the app, you look at someone and you think, oh, they're okay, and then you perhaps might swipe right, but sometimes you're swiping right just because you feel you want to swipe right and you want to have a connection,
Yeah,
not because you actually really they tick in a lot of boxes. It's because you think, well, there's been nothing else, so I'll just swipe right, and it's wrong. That is wrong to do.
definitely. How about you, B?
So I'm on Bumble, and I am rightly or wrongly being choosy. Kind of when I decided.
How dare you be choosy?
So I was never ever getting on internet dating. Never. Not in my life. When I was young, you went to a pub, you met somebody at a pub, and that was how it doesn't happen like that now, or very, very rarely happens like that. And I've had these 3 big relationships in my life. And the last one, I always thought he was coming back. So I kind of wasted like years kind of in my head thinking he'll come back. So when I decided, all right, then I'll kind of have a look. Personally, I was at the point where I didn't need somebody. I wanted somebody, which from a man's point of view, or, you know, the other way around, is a much, much better, because if you need somebody, when that need has expired, when that's run out, what's kind of left? I always say that any kind of relationship, be it friendship, be it a partner, be it family, it's a box. And if you constantly take out of that box eventually and not put anything back in, eventually that box is empty. So my box is pretty full of kind of, you know, love and empathy and respect and trust and all of those things. So I don't need anything else putting into it, but it would be nice to kind of share that with somebody. But I don't need somebody in my life. So I joined Bumble. Well, I joined Tinder first, and I was fat shamed within about 3 hours. And I was like, whoa, hey, what?
I've got no experience at Tinder, so I don't know.
It's brutal. It is brutal out there.
I've never been on
You don't need to be on Tinder. You don't. It's brutal. So I came off that. Funnily enough, same guy on Bumble, because they're all on the same apps.
Absolutely.
You jump from app to app and they're all on the same app, sort of thing. Doesn't matter. Somebody said you should try Hinge. I don't understand Hinge at all. And what's the roses about? What is it like? What's the roses about? Bachelorette or something? I don't even like roses, so why would I? And you've got to pay for the roses. Why would I pay to give somebody a rose that I don't know anything about? I don't even like roses. I'd at least give you a lily. So I came off that. I didn't understand Hinge at all. So Bumble was the one for me.
At this point, I'm just going to explain to anyone watching that hasn't been on Hinge. They're not real roses either. They're like a rose symbol that someone can send you, or you can actually pay for to send someone. And it makes no scrap of difference to anyone, I don't think, if they get them at all. They just think that's a bit of a waste of money.
It's a bit like, can you remember, and I'm not being rude here, but can you remember way back in the day, Facebook, you used to poke people? What was that about? Can you remember that? What was that?
I've never done Facebook, so I can't comment on Facebook.
I mean, just having to say the word out loud, I feel a little bit sick in my mouth. So I joined Bumble because everybody was like, it's a bit kinder, you know, you're kind of like, you're in control. You message the guy first. I was like, okay then, this seems fine. But I tend to find, and I think probably, Elliot, your previous guests and friends have picked up on this, the age bracket that I'm in, I come across 2 things. One, men are either after a one-night stand, which I've never had any experience of in my life. So I don't understand how you can go out on a date with somebody and give them all this attention and kind of like you've been in a relationship for 3 years and then walk away at the end of the night. It's like that this person's really protective over you, you know, they're going to open car doors for you and all these manners and things like that, but then walk away at the end of the night and just ghost you and never come back again. And I don't know how that does something to you mentally. I'm like, I've got no experience. I've had these 3 big relationships, so I'm having to kind of learn that apparently that's what dating's like now. This happens all the time. This is the norm.
I do think, Jules, from like a guy's perspective sometimes, and I think it's women as well, it depends what their journey's been to that point of where you meet them. So if they've been in a long, long relationship for the last sort of 15, 20 years, whatever it may be, more than likely towards the end of that relationship, what they would have been lacking was probably intimacy and sex. So I think what they want when they come out of that is they're not looking for a relationship. They're looking to get the stuff that they hadn't had for so long. And they still want to be courteous and kind, because I do believe they're not bad people. But after they've done sort of and filled those holes that they want to, so to speak, theoretically, they've got what they wanted out of it. And I think that's fine for some people, because I think it works for women and guys that are looking for that. That just needs to be a little bit clearer at the start.
For me, going back to the dating sites, there's things that I look for. Like if there's only ever a headshot, that's for me, I don't go there. If obviously, like we mentioned before, with the guys with the fish standing in front of a sports car, and also when you get pictures of guys, they're with about 5 other guys.
Yeah.
I think, why, what, and then you start scrolling down, and then you realise the
It's
reason
not the
they've
one that
got
you
all their
wanted.
mates. You've come on here to find someone, so you say, or that's what you come for, but you've not put anything on your profile. And also, I have the 1 drink rule. I brought the 1 drink rule in
But this
about
sounds interesting, this bit, the 1 drink
a
rule,
year
Jules.
ago. So I like to meet fairly quickly so that I can actually ask the questions face to face and see their body language, get the response straight away. But going back to the 1 drink rule, because I know that's what you want to find out about.
I'm just wondering where the 1 drink rule is going to go.
Me too.
No, well, it doesn't go very far. Put it that way, it
Oh,
doesn't go very
boo.
far. Now, I was, I don't know whether you've both been in a situation where you get to a date and you can usually tell straight away, I've met the person, or straight away you meet them, you see them, they're either not what they look like in the picture. You just get that feeling that you think, I don't know why. I just want to walk away. I just want
Yeah.
to go out the door again. It's horrible. It really is horrible. Oh, you go and have a drink, or they'll get you a drink, very kindly get you a drink, you have a drink, and then it's like, do you want another drink? Or I'll, the lady will go and get a drink. So you sit there and you make small talk, and you're talking about all about yourself that you probably don't even tell other people that you've known for years about. You're spitting all this information out, and I think, why should I be doing this when I really don't want to be here? Making this small talk and thinking, this person is like really into you and thinking, oh God, this is really going great. But really you're thinking, how do I let him down? How do I say no? I just really want to go and get in my car and drive home. And it's a horrible feeling. It really is.
Yeah. It's a
Have you not
big.
got a safe word? You
I
need a
haven't got a
safe word. You need a safe word that if you text your friend, they ring you. You just like go, so I'll say it's butterfly. So you text your friend
I'm not good
butterfly.
with things like that. I'm not good with like.
Just get a safe word, and then you text your friend butterfly, and then they'll ring you. Go, oh, really sorry, I've got to go. Got to go. Bye. It's lovely meeting you. Bye.
See, if a guy did that, their mate would text them back and go, yeah, I love butterflies. See you tomorrow.
So when you're younger, you're going out and you meet someone at a bar or so, and it's just all about you and them, and you sort of mold together. You can mold that person a little bit. But when you're more mature, you can't do that. And if I go on dates and you sort of perhaps see someone a few times, it's like, will they fit in with my family? Will they fit in with my friends? Do we like the same sort of interior design? Do we like the same music? It sounds awful, but that's the sort of things that I think of now. There's a lot more for them to be part of you and fit in.
So, B, where are you with your dating at the moment?
So I generally find, like I say, I've got one of two. So I'm having to learn that the dating landscape is very, very different. So I've either got people who, I don't know, maybe there's an invisible sign on my head that I can't see, that kind of believe that by what they read in my bio, and I make it really, really clear that I'm not in for one night stands. I'm not saying I need you to book a wedding in 6 months, but I'm not looking for a one night stand. Or what I find is that I'm not young enough for the people that are my age. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
that
Yeah, it does.
the men that are my age are looking for somebody who is younger. So I'm in that kind of limbo age of, well, either it's somebody much older than me, and I think you can say I'm kind of a little bit energetic sort of thing. So for lots of people, they'll be like, you're too much. Well, that's fine. If I'm too much for you, then that's fine. Just
Yeah.
swipe away sort of thing. But it's a really hard balance for me of finding somebody that, I mean, my thing is, can you make us laugh? That's my thing. Can you make us laugh? Can I laugh with you? Can I roll around belly laughing on a daily basis? Nothing. Just like the connection that we have. So it's not that I'm kind of like, they've got to be this tall. I'm not bothered about height. They've got to do this. They've got to do this. It's very, very, but other people I'm finding, I'm too old for the people here. And then the people that are kind of like younger, I've got nothing in common with. So it's not, I wouldn't say absolutely batting them away. My inbox is overflowing because it's just not. And it's because I've had these 3 big relationships. So you've kind of hit the nail on the head. I've got no kind of experience of this thing where other people, if they've been in long-term relationships, they're looking to have that need satisfied of the things that were missing when they got out, sort of thing. So I've got no reference point to that whatsoever. So I'm just kind of like, and I mean, it's been said 1,000 times, when you're young, the dating pool is an ocean. It's everybody. And when you're older, it's a teaspoon of people with lots of baggage. I mean, we've all got a history. When you get to our age, everybody's got a history. Absolutely everybody. But there's just some extra problems in there that might be that people are perhaps, and I'm not judging in any way, shape or form, because that says more about me if I judge than it does about them. But I tend to find that people are looking for, I don't know whether it's men are looking for something so they can say to their lads, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this absolute worldie that I've got. But I'm too old. I need to be younger. So that's kind of where I'm at the minute. So we're not doing great, I'm going to be honest.
So for both you, for Jules and for you, B, so where we are at the moment, so we're going to spend the next sort of 4 weeks and we're going to catch up on a weekly basis, almost like a diary of like how you're doing on the apps and, you know, about conversations that you've had with people, if you've been on dates or any interactions that you've had, and how that's gone forward really. But at the moment, are you, in terms of talking to people, have you got a clean slate from where we start now, or is there people that you've had a couple of messages with that you're thinking about going on a date with?
Nothing for me at the moment.
I'm clean slating it at the minute.
So
Other
both
than there is a man holding a fish.
always holding a fish, Jules.
He's holding a fish. He's got a 20-pound carp in his hands. I don't know what that represents.
Big carp. It means he's got a big carp.
There are questions that like I don't even want answered. So other than that, I am clean slating it from this point in.
The bigger the carp, I'm told, the bigger the rod.
Oh, I thought it was the bigger the van to carry it home. I'm rubbish at this. Rubbish.
That's maybe it as well. So if we look at your profiles, let's say, how do you look? What photos do you choose? Do you give, I don't want all the information, but do you give loads of information about yourself, or just a few bullet points?
With Bumble, you're limited.
Yeah.
So you can't really put that much down. So basically, it's sort of what I'm looking for. The guy, you know, it's sort of like someone who's sort of takes pride in his appearance, is fun, is tactile, loves dancing because I love dancing. Yeah, and I did then explain. I just put a bit of a jokey thing, the wandering rule, because it's sort of just trying to put my fun side in that as well, so it gets them sort of to look. And the photos, I've got 4 photos, so I've got 2 that are 2 close-up ones, one that's the fun one when I was on a statue, a horse statue in a little bit worse for wear, and posing sort of, I don't know how I got on it and I don't know how I got off it, but I'm on it and I'm sort of like just about to fall off, I think. And then another one of me when I'm a wedding celebrant, so just standing there. So that's me in more prim and proper, I suppose you could say. So it's a little mixture of pictures.
B?
I have the maximum, which is 6 photographs, and I have one where I've got no makeup on whatsoever. I've got a towel around my head, so I'm like, this is what I look like with no makeup on whatsoever. And then I've got and Jules, I've got nothing from the shoulders down, absolutely nothing from the shoulders down. Because if you're not interested in my face and how we interact on text, like my weight and my shape are the least interesting thing about me. So if you're not interested in just the way that you interact with me, that's okay. Move on, go to somebody else. And then up to, I've got a picture of where I'm going out, I've got lashes on, my hair's done. So there's this spectrum of this is what I look like. So nobody can say, oh my God, she looked nothing like the photos. This is the no makeup picture. This is the fresh out of the shower picture. So they're kind of my 6 photos. And then, Jules, do you have, I've noticed that Bumble now, you can do a lead-in question where you get people that you don't necessarily say that you like, they can answer that question and they get a window into message you, which is a new thing for me. So do you have a leading question?
I have got a leading question, but I can't remember what my leading question is. But you also get to put some pointers as well for you. So you get sort of some already pre-empted questions and then you just finish them off. So like sentences, and then you finish the sentence off.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I say, I haven't really looked to see, but I've just got a lot of likes. But when I go into them, it's just all blurred. It's just blurred. And I'm not paying the money that I have paid
And
before.
the thing is, Jules, you've got no real way of knowing, is that just Bumble trying to do that? Is that trying to like clickbait you and make you pay? Or genuinely, if you were to pay, have you got 120 people that are sitting there waiting to interact with you? That's always I'm so suspicious. So by nature, really, really suspicious. So my brain's going, is there really 120 people that are sitting there waiting to like us? Or is that just I'll click and I'll pay for the upgrade and then I'll find that actually they're not, or they've matched up magically with somebody else and now they've dropped off. So
no, that's right.
For both of you on dating sites, because B, just listening to what you was just saying, I know from most guys, they'd want to see a full body shot, as it were. That will be like something if you speak to most guys. So that could be something. I know that it's not what you want to put out there, but that could be something that maybe think about, I would say, because for a lot of guys, I think what they can't see, they don't know. I understand everyone's got worry about what you're putting out there. The dating sites aren't just about us, they're about other people as well. Because if you only saw head and shoulders of guys, you'd probably think to yourself, I can't see the rest of him. Like you want to get a picture of.
I think what are you hiding? You know, to me, it's sort of like with the guy, I met a guy. The reason I say that, B, is because this was a few years ago. I've been divorced for 4.5 years now. And I met a guy and it was lovely looking face, really nice looking guy. He lied about his height. He said he was 5'9" or 6 foot, something like that. And as soon as he got out the car, I mean, I should have been able to tell because his head was like that with the steering wheel. No, it wasn't that bad. But he got out the car. But he got out the car. You know, when you get out the car, you get out and you stand up. Well, this guy just got out and he stayed the same level. You know, he didn't get taller. And I was thinking, and this is actually the only time that I've actually thought, I can't go ahead with this. Because this is shallow of me, but I was actually in my own hometown. So I thought, if I see somebody, and this sounds really awful, but he just wasn't how he put himself out to be. How he explained, he'd lied. He'd blatantly lied about his height and everything. So I just thought from then on, I'm not going to entertain anyone that doesn't do a full shot, you know, of them.
Yeah. Can I ask you both a question though? Like that, and that's not being shallow at all. That's perfectly fine. You know, this is an important choice. Nobody should settle, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but can I ask you both a question? Like, does it genuinely? Do you think about those things? Do you think about what will my friends say? Because to me, that doesn't. I couldn't give a monkey's what my friends say. If I'm happy, I genuinely don't care what anybody else thinks.
Yeah, that makes me sound shallow, actually.
No, it doesn't. It totally doesn't.
I think for me, I'm quite a selfish person anyway, that I only care about what I think. So for me, I would steer away from people I couldn't see because you just don't know what you don't see. You learn, like when you first go on, you don't know anything at all. When you learn as you go, and it's like when people are holding the camera up here all the time and taking photos from up there, you think, oh, that looks great. And then, but when you see them, they look completely different. Unless you're standing on top of a building looking down at them, they look the same.
Yeah.
So I think you have to be really transparent on a dating app, not for you, but for other people. And I ended up doing that myself because I thought, do you know what? I don't want to waste an evening meeting someone that when they meet me go, you're completely different.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be really muscly and you're not, or I thought you were going to be really slim and you're not. Whatever it may be, I'd rather them go, I know what I'm meeting, I know what they look like. So when I get out, they go, yeah, that's him.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think dating apps do bring out our own insecurities as well, because
That's where I'm sat. That's completely where I'm sat. So having been fat shamed by somebody who doesn't know me, but cut so deep by what was said, that I do in the kind of blurb that you put.
Yeah.
I very much say the B73 model comes fully equipped with full curves and swerves. That's me. If you want to know more, you can ask us.
Yeah.
But that's just for me. That's my insecurity that I don't look good enough for other people. So that's totally my insecurity. And that's not going to be something that just goes away, having been in that position where so many people have used fat against you. I was a fitness professional for years and years and years and years. But if I was to try and go and be a fitness professional now, a lot of people would look and just go, how can you be a fitness professional? Because I don't look like a fitness professional. But it doesn't take away from all the knowledge that I've got and all the qualifications and all the experience and all of the clients that I've had. But I don't look a certain way. It's definitely my issue. It's not anybody else's issue, but it's that kind of, almost for me, the not showing full pictures. I get that I'm not making it easy on myself, but I'm almost protecting my heart a little bit from that hurt, because people can be cruel. People can be really cruel, because it's very easy to spit those words out and not think about where they land.
To me, it's like you're in a supermarket, everyone has a trolley, and they go around one aisle and they think, I like that, so I'll get that one, put that in my trolley. And then you go down the next aisle and then you see something else and you think, get rid of that one, I'll have that one. And then you go down and it's just so easy to drop and pick and drop, like being a kid in a candy store of all these women. And I think perhaps if guys or women are on their own, it's like an entertainment, I think, for a lot of guys and women as well, because it's sort of like a time passing thing. So you don't know if you're talking to this person, who you're talking to, whether they are genuine.
Oh God, yeah.
Or they're just there just to spend a few hours chatting to somebody.
Yeah, just to fill in their train journey
just
home.
to fill in their time. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just so easy because all you need is your phone. Whether you're at work, whether you're on the train, whether you're, wherever you are, it's just easy to pick up and have a look, swipe, perhaps send a message.
For both of you, what would be when I say your ideal man, I don't mean sort of Brad Pitt, because it'd probably be my ideal man as well, to be honest. What would be a guy that you're looking for? How would you describe them? What would you say, B?
So can you make us laugh? I mean, I don't need you to be entertainers sort of thing. I don't need a comedian, but I love to laugh. I love to laugh. It's like emotional Botox to me to be able to laugh. And if I can do that, just be stupid. I don't mind if we kind of stay in. I like to go out. I like to do things like at the weekend. I'm open to all sorts of kind of, if somebody's a homebody, I'm all right. As long as you're all right as well, that I've still got my own kind of social life. So I still want to do my own things. I like to go to concerts and things. If you want to come to concerts with us, brilliantly. I'd love for somebody to go, right, should we go and hike up this mountain on Saturday? Absolutely, let's do that. So I'm quite open to somebody not necessarily wanting to be with us all of the time, but somebody that appreciates that I kind of have my life already. And if you're just going to add on and we can kind of mesh and things, and if you can make us laugh, the list's not long. The list really isn't that long. I mean, looks wise, anybody that says looks don't matter to me lies.
Absolutely.
Looks matter to everybody. But if I kind of look back in my Rolodex of all three men, none of them looked anything like each other. One of them was tall and really skinny. One of them was a proper unit. And then the other one was average height and white hair and a proper geezer. He was from London, let's say. So there were three completely different people, but they all made me laugh. So that I haven't got a long list. I'm not bothered.
Jules, describe your ideal guy.
My ideal guy be someone, like you said, spontaneous. I want to have someone that as soon as they go out the door, I miss them. I can't wait for them to come back in the door again. That's my ideal guy. Someone that's caring, a family guy. Has been, because I've got children, I've got grandchildren, and someone who's family orientated, someone who loves to dance. I absolutely love dancing. Social person, spontaneous, like you said, B. I mean, I think when you get to a certain age, I just want to explore. I want to live, and I want to do different things. Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily want to be in a full-on relationship, because I have my life. And when you've been on your own for a little while, it's like, can this work? If you were looking at having sort of moving in with somebody. So I would even be open to like a long distance up to a certain stage relationship.
Long distance is great, honestly. I did long distance for 8 years.
I'm busy. I'm busy with work.
Yeah.
I'm busy with my weddings. So for me, to have a relationship that would say once or perhaps twice a month, it sounds really awful, doesn't it? But at the moment, I think that would be good for me.
Do you know what you need? You need an oil rig worker. 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off. That's what you need, Jules. We just need to get you a rig pig. That's what you need.
So, guys, we're coming to a close shortly. So, between now and next week, obviously, this is like an ongoing diary, as I said to you before. What I'd like you to do, if possible, and if you'd be willing to, is both help each other with your profiles to see, share pictures and maybe give advice to each other, because I think that's a really good thing to do. Or if not each other, just other people, and just start getting out of a comfort zone a little bit if you feel like you've been in one, or just change your pictures. Like in terms of, I found that quite interesting actually when I was doing them, that I would change mine on a regular basis, because I do think the algorithms of the apps recirculate you again, because it's almost like when you come off, like when you first go on an app, it seems like everything springs to life. You think this is brilliant, and I think they're designed for that. So I think sometimes it's worth signing out, logging off, not having an account, and then joining it again and just starting again, and just see what happens with that. And then next week we'll catch up again, and then we'll see if what you've been looking at, who you've been swiping, what conversations you've had. How does that sound?
Yeah, I love that you are, as a teacher, giving us homework.
not
I feel schooled.
It's not bad homework.
It'll be fun, and I think that's the biggest thing. The reason I wanted to start doing these podcasts as well. It is about the journey that we're all doing together.
Yeah,
and I think it's great fun being single. I really do. I like it because, exactly as you said, you've got your independence. You have your own house. You have your own places. You just kind of want an AI person in the cupboard that you can sort of drag out when you need them. And I might invest in that actually.
That's not frightening at all.
No, it sounds great to me. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I don't want. Yeah, I've had the needy, and like you do the WhatsApp, and they message you in the morning, and then you don't get back to them straight away, and you think like, oh, I don't want this. Yes, it's nice to sort of say good morning and good night, but the same thing every morning.
It is funny though, because if you, from your description of someone that you're looking for, you wanted someone to be loving and caring. Now, his interpretation of that might have been
true. Yes,
that could be loving and caring.
Yeah, but that's like, yes, that's true. Repetitive. I did say long distance and just have that and look forward to it with a bit of a gap in between. That I even had stayed over because we sort of got that far. We were in this relationship, and he was on his phone in bed in the morning. He was on his phone, so I thought, I'll go on my phone. And next thing I knew, I got this thing, and he sent me one from sitting in the bed, sitting up in the bed next to me.
Oh, that's nice. What a nice touch.
I just sort of turned around and I sort of went, I thought, I've got to acknowledge it. So I sort of went, you just sent me. He went, yes. I went, and I thought, this is it. No, it was awful. So no.
Yeah, I would have been then. I'm like, if you text me and tell us you want a cup of tea, I'm going to knock your teeth out. Don't put that in. Don't put that in. I can't be having violence in there.
So no.
Well, listen, guys, I've thoroughly enjoyed our first episode, our first meeting. I'm looking forward to the next 3 weeks. I'm hoping that we get an insight into how the apps work, or even if you're out and grab someone and chat to them, and we might be able to do this organically as well. I think that's always the best way. But guys, thank you for following. Ladies, thank you for joining me. Make sure you follow and subscribe below, and we'll look forward to the next instalment with Jules and B and find out how they're getting on. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.